I found this.
It's my compact. I wondered where that got to. Thank you very much.
Well, I'll tell you where it got to. I found it next to the pastor's ear. Now, how did it get there, Miss Molly Devereaux? Supposed to star the stage and screen?
Well, yeah, I can explain.
And then there's this.
Now again.
And then there's always the plane ticket to New York City.
Oh, she is.
She's knocked him off and planned to run off to New York City tonight. Heavens!
Dear simple folk, why would Mrs. Keel kill her husband and leave a calling card so distinct as her compact, and then stick around to miss her plane? I see. That's because it left at 2:30 p.m. 5 years ago.
That's right.
5 years.
This ticket is my souvenir from the best vacation my Pookie ever took me on.
Well, that still doesn't explain the mirror.
Oh, all right, I confess. I found him first, but I didn't hit him, I swear. I would never hurt him onto his body. I saw him lying there, and I got scared, and I ran, and I must have dropped my compact.
What else have you got in that little black bag, Mr. Suckett?
Yeah.
Well, I found this here cookie tray lying behind the pastor. It's kind of did it in.
Do you mean to tell me that my Pookie was done in by a sweet tooth?
Now, I can explain the presence of that there cookie sheet. I admit I was not completely taken by surprise by pastor's untimely demise. I found the pastor first. My lovely Polly was having another surgery emergency, and I'd gone into the kitchen to fetch some goodies. But I got sidetracked in the hall by one of the parishioners, and I spent 20 minutes discussing the evils of playing cards and going to movies. When I finally got to the kitchen, I was so shocked by the sight of Pastor laying there that I threw this tray right against the refrigerator. Thus, the dings and the dents.
And just why should we believe you?
Because the Reverend and Pastor Keel were planning on going into ministry together. The Reverend's energy and the pastor's kind and generous heart would meet a dynamic ministry team.
Oh, please tell me that's not true.
Indeed it is. And now that pastor's gone, I would love to fulfill his fondest dreams by staying on as your esteemed leader.
Oh, please.
What about you, Mr. Suckett? Did you find your big, heavy flashlight next to the pastor?
As a matter of fact, I did. But I'm certain I left it next to the fuse box. Someone else must have picked it up and used it by mistake.
Oh, come on. He siphons money from every fundraiser this church ever has. My even was on to him.
Now, taking a little dip out of the box is one thing, but downright murder is another. And let's not confuse the two, all right?
Let's just cut the thief some slack.
I don't buy it. Maliciousness is maliciousness. An empty socket is full of it.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But there's one thing we've all overlooked. Mr. Socket is left-handed. And the injuries to Pastor Keel were definitely not done by a left-handed assailant.
Is that a fact? Yeah, that's a fact. So who we're looking for is a right-handed assailant.
No, not at all.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you saying we're looking for an assailant with no hands at all?
Ladies and gentlemen, the final clue.
Do you mean to tell me that my even was strangulated?
Dear folk, did anyone happen to notice the blackened marks at the ends of Pastor Keel's fingers?
Well, he went in there to make a
usually in the liquid form. Coffee had not yet been made. This is what I believe happened.